Good evening, everyone. My name is Jane Schoettle. I'm the lead programmer for special presentations, and I am delighted to present tonight's screening of EMILIA PÉREZ, directed by Jacques Audiard. We are pleased to present this film at the Visa Screening Room at the Princess of Wales Theatre, and thank Visa for making this possible. A sincere thank you to our presenting sponsor, Rogers, and our major sponsors, RBC and Visa, for their continued support. Absolutely applaud our sponsors. Thank you. We would like to thank our government supporters, the Government of Ontario, Telefilm Canada, and the City of Toronto. The special presentations program is made possible through the generous sponsorship of TikTok. This film is eligible for the People's Choice Award presented by Rogers. Vote for your favorite films at tiff.net/vote. We would like also to thank Netflix for providing us with this film. Thank you. And we would like to extend a special welcome to the Consul General of France, Mr. Bertrand Pouze. Welcome. EMILIA PÉREZ's trio of lead actresses received, as an ensemble cast, the Best Actress Award at the Cannes Film Festival. Yes. And director Jacques Audiard was awarded the jury prize for the film. Additionally, yes, we should applaud all of these wonderful things. Additionally, last night, composers Clément Ducol and Camille were presented with the TIFF Variety Artisan Award for their work on the film. While the accolades come thick and fast, it's important not to lose sight of what's at the core of all of this excitement. A film that merges pop opera, narco-thriller, and gender-affirming drama, all the while a roller coaster in which crime, redemption, and karma collide. Ingenious plot twists and inspired musical detours upend expectations, giving us insight into characters and a community all struggling against corruption, fear, and harmful stereotypes. Jacques Audiard's films include A Prophet, Rust and Bone, and The Sister Brothers. We're pleased to have the opportunity to have a moderated discussion after the screening, but I'd now like to introduce you to some special guests. Please welcome composer Camille. Composer Clément Ducol. Actor Edgar Ramirez. Actress Adriana Paz. Selena Gomez. Come here. Karla Sofía Gascón. And Zoe Saldaña.
Good evening. Bonsoir. Buenas noches. I'm here to speak on behalf of Jacques Audiard, who cannot be with us today. And though he's very sorry, he wrote a beautiful note that he asked me to read for you all, and to thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry I can't be with you this evening with my cast, friends, and the audience at the Toronto Film Festival. I had to return home to Paris to deal with a pre-existing injury, but I'm reassured to know that you're with my better half, well, my 5 better halves. Karla, yours truly, Selena, Adriana, and Edgar. You are the heartbeat of this film. This group of actors is the soul of EMILIA PÉREZ, its raison d'être. Our remarkable composers are also in Toronto this evening, Camille and Clément, whose talent have enchanted our world and who were awarded the TIFF Artisan Award last evening. Congratulations, my friends. The last time we were all together was at a magical premiere in Cannes. I have no doubt tonight will be just as special. This film was made in the spirit of these powerful women and the permission for all of us to live our lives authentically. I'd also like to thank Netflix and Bella Bajaria, Cameron Bailey, and Jane Schoettle. My warmest greetings to all of you from Paris, where we enjoyed our crazy adventures of making this film together. We will be back for more. In the meantime, I wish you, dear friends, a wonderful screening.
So we're very pleased to have a couple of moments for some onstage conversation with our guests, who I'd like to introduce almost immediately. Please join me in welcoming Edgar Ramirez. And the four actresses who jointly won the Best Actress prize in Cannes. Please welcome Adriana Paz, Karla Sofía Gascón, Selena Gomez, and Zoe Saldaña.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to you all, again, many times over. So I'm going to put you each a little bit on the spot and ask you if you remember your first meeting or conversation with Jacques Audiard. I'd like to know how he pitched this to you.
Sure. Jacques doesn't pitch you; you pitch yourself. You know, it's a Jacques Audiard movie. Like that's how we, at least that's how I saw it, and I know that a lot of us feel familiar with it. When the meeting was scheduled, I was having such an out-of-body experience because I've been such a fan of his work. I couldn't understand if it was an opera, but it's a musical, but are we singing, are we dancing? What is this about? And then he kind of like just very plainly gives me the premise, the plot of the movie. I was like, my mind, this was my face inside my head, like. And everything about that was like, I want to do it.
Fantastic.
My first time I met him was in California. I was way too nervous and didn't make any sense, but luckily he doesn't speak that much English either, so I feel like I may have did a good job there. And then I auditioned the second time for him, and it was amazing. It was one of the best auditions I'd ever done. It was really fun. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I have first one ask for the audience. Do you like the movie? Está cabrón, como dirían en México, está cabrón esto. No, my first time when the first time was I was Jacques Audiard is in Paris. It was in Paris, and I remember that I was in a cinema that the producers, and I saw this guy with the cap in. And all, and I say, is Jacques Audiard or Jacques Cousteau? And I say, Jack, you missing your harpoon. But for me, Jack is amazing. Is the best director in the world for me. I think he is one of the best creators, one of the best amazing people that I found in my life. And I only want to say him thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jack, for this movie, not only for me and for my partners, for all of us. Thank you so much.
Adriana, do you recall the first time you met him?
Of course. Okay. It was in Paris. I went to meet him because I want to be there. I mean, I want to be in the movie, and he wanted also to meet me, but it wasn't clear if it was going to be in Mexico or in LA. So I went to Madrid with my husband, who is actor too, and my manager told me, like, you have to fly to Paris to meet him. And that's what I did. And I was so nervous at the beginning, but then I realized that he is so kind and so funny. And he told me, like, and do you really sing? And I was like, of course. Do you want me to sing to you? And he was like, okay, let's do it. And I sang Cielo Rojo, which is a Mexican song that I love. And he was like, oh. And well, I'm here, and I'm so happy to be here sharing this experience with these great people and these great actresses and actors. Estoy súper feliz.
Well, for me, I sat down to talk about this with Jacques in California as well. We had met years before in France on some other like social gatherings, and always I wanted to do something together, and then I remember that he said, Edgar, this is a movie about women, and I said, perfect, fantastic. And the character is so small, but I don't know, I feel weird that we discuss it. And I said, like, you don't worry about that. It's your movie, I want to be in your movie, doesn't matter. And then he said, okay, I don't know, I mean, there's a lawyer, but there's a doctor, and also there's this pimp. And then I said, okay, keep talking. And then, long story short, he said, I'm rewriting all the time, which we know that he does even before we go on set. So he writes every day. Things can change on a dime. That's his process.
Wow.
So it's a true happening. We can, like a lot, we have stories of how the polarity of our relationship changed just by the chemistry that Selena and I had in what then turned into this very intense love story. That it was a love story in the end, though. So, and then I remember in March of that year, last year, I was shooting something else in New York. It was a very, very, very cold day, and it was freezing. And then suddenly he texted me and said, Edgar, I'm texting you to officially offer you the role of the pimp. And I said, perfect, fantastic, awesome, let's do it. And then came to Paris, and this is it.
Bravo. Who'd have thought a text like that would be so fantastic? Yeah. Zoe, you've had this amazing, very successful, very diverse career, but can you talk about this role and maybe what it means at this stage in your life and in this stage in your career? What does it mean to you?
An opportunity of a lifetime, but it doesn't matter how long you're in your journey, you still have a desire to reconnect to something that may be simple, to venture outside of like your comfort zone and challenge yourself. Jacques Audiard has this ability to make me feel uncomfortable because he makes me really develop empathy for characters that live outside of my realm of understanding, and when I heard about this movie and the plot and the journey and the yearning for freedom that all these women individually were wanting to have, their version of an authentic life of freedom and love. But it's like, it's entangled with a story that challenges me to kind of find sympathy for them and for this world, and these are characters that sometimes may seem unredeemable. Everything about that made me want to do this role and be a part of this journey.
We're grateful. I never thought about it that way, what you're saying about their search for freedom, all of these women. Each of them search for freedom for something different and are reclaiming themselves through the process. Each of your characters have such an extraordinary arc and journey. It's another testament to you, and undoubtedly why you won the prize in Cannes, but all of you have such a presence on the screen. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Selena, you're a very experienced actress, but I wondered, have you ever... Yeah, well, you are. I think you are. But have you ever acted in Spanish before?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
I was so nervous.
Really?
Yes. It was actually really interesting because I ultimately ended up getting to develop a character that is very similar to myself. And actually, I believe a lot of Latinx communities in America, I think it's also everywhere, but I'm really glad that we were able to make her Latin American, because that's who I am. I can understand when anyone has a conversation, but do not ask me to answer. And I'm really grateful, though, that we were able to pull that off.
You more than pulled it off.
Thank you.
Yeah. Karla, can I ask you, once the possibility of the role was in front of you, can I ask you what you thought was the most challenging thing you were going to face, but possibly also the thing you were most excited about?
Contestar esa pregunta supondría que usted ya aceptó la misión. For me, it's a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges in this movie. One of that is to change my voice into time before, because the first part when she is Manitas, the voice is, I like to do dubbing, and I like to put my voice to the puppets, cartoons or something like that. And for me, it's really funny. One of the most, my big challenge is to do this voice for Manitas, that I inspired in Sylvester Stallone, and
Does he know?
and Marlon Brando, and I try to do a good word, not a caricatura, no?
Not a caricature.
No, not a character of with that. And Emilia have the voice more fine than me, and it's too difficult, but the movement in one time and the past and in present, but for me, it's more fun. It was more funny to do Manitas than Emilia, because Emilia is more close to me, no. And Manitas is alone, and I like an actress, I love the roles of characters far from me, no. And I enjoy a lot the music. For me, I'm not a singer. I don't want to compete versus Shakira or Selena. I don't want to win a Grammy. I think my best part in this movie is my acting, I think, no? Not the singer, because I really bad on really worse the songs. They need put the equalizer at the top. No, but it's all a challenge. I spent 2 years for for this amazing work. This is my best work in my life. This is the first occasion that I show me in the screen, and I say thank you. I don't have nothing to say, you, Karla.
Adriana, yours is a pivotal role. It's about you find love, Emilia finds love. Can you speak a little bit about that path of your character that starts in a place of great anger and then comes to find love?
Well, Epifania, I think, as the name is an epiphania, I mean, for Emilia and also for herself. She is in pain, she has been through a big suffering, and she is so afraid as well. So, but even if she's afraid of violence and her husband, she is courageous, exactly. And she's not imagining that she's gonna fall in love in that way. And I think that Emilia helps Epifania to discover something about herself that she didn't even know, or maybe she did, but she didn't want to accept. And it's a surprise for both of them. And also think that Epifania represents many women in Latin America, in Mexico, that are going through this, and well, I wanted to put the spirit of them on her.
Of course. Thank you. Edgar, you've spoken about what you consider to be the strong themes, social justice themes that run through this film, and what you think the meaning of the film is. Could you share some of that, some of your thoughts with us?
Yeah, I think that, and it's like the main reason why I wanted to be part of these wonderful stories. I mean, I think that one, as an actor, one can just be, and I've said this before, one can just be just so lucky to be, you know, in support of these amazing artists and in portraying these women who are, they're in the pursuit of fighting to be their most authentic self. You know, this is a movie about, ultimately it's a movie about freedom. It's a movie about emancipation. It is a movie about reclaiming your identity, reclaiming your space, reclaiming your agency, you know, and you can see it in, as you pointed out before, they're all finding and fighting for their freedom for different reasons. And it's a movie that also, coming from Latin America, being a Latin American man, I know exactly where this movie is touching upon. I mean, it's incredible the path of most women in our part of the world. You know, when we talk about violence in Latin America, that violence really materializes against women. And that is a reality. You know, that is a reality. So there's so much work to be done. It's a country that is a region that is sustained by women. Women are the ones, the forced work is women. Women are father and mother. And there's something to be said about fatherhood in this film as well. Because this is a continent that keeps growing without fatherhood. It's women, the ones that need to be both. And I'm sorry, I don't want to extend too much, but it is in a way that to me is very moving, but not sentimental. I mean, I love how, although the movie is capable of making us feel so much. I mean, I just saw it for the second time here, and it's really like the elements create real emotions. It's not sentimental. It's still it's a very, very restrained and strong movie. I mean, it really shocks you because of how unimaginable this violence is for women. You see domestic violence in the character of Epifania. You see also the violence against the body and the right for a woman to enjoy her sexuality, to yearn for love, for change. You see it in the character of Jessie, a woman trying to overcome all the obstacles of the race issue, of poverty, of working against a system that is set and structured to keep you outside. And then we wonder, why are these people, the matter of corruption in Latin America, sorry, I'm getting too intense, I'm from Venezuela, and you can only imagine. Sorry, it's like, don't push that button, then I get.
No, do not apologize.
But of course, it's corruption has been, in a way, legalized, you know, and then we wonder why then suddenly, we cannot, as you said before, I cannot really, I relate to the trajectory of the character that Zoe plays, because it's like, when am I gonna get a fucking shot at buying a nice pair of shoes? That shot today, when you're just like looking in the mirror and just showing the shoes, it was very moving. It's the first time that this character has ever had the opportunity to buy a pair of shoes. And of course, the drama of, this is one of the most, Latin America is one of the most homophobic regions of the world, because it's one of the most misogynistic regions of the world, and homophobia is nothing but an extension of misogyny. Because it is the feminine that gets sanctioned. It is the possibility of the weakness, because the feminine is related to weakness. That's symbolically. So it is the suspicion of something feminine that gets sanctioned. So it's an extension of misogyny. And to see a woman that we know, the woman that we know as Karla, and the one that she portrays, that just does whatever, like, it's a movie about the possibility of change and the possibility of having second chances, of trying to do it all over again with whatever consequences that brings. And that contradiction, sorry, yeah, I'm shut up, I'm shutting up.
Thank you, Edgar.
Thank you. Mic drop, yes. And yet you say the feminine is associated with weakness, and yet look at each of the characters and women on this stage.
Of course, that's the thing.
And that's the beauty and power of this movie.
That's why movies like this a movie like this is so important. Because it shows that it's the opposite of weakness, it's strength. Yeah.
Zoe, if I could come back to you, building on what Edgar has said, your character has such a circular path within this film, because even though she does start one place, enters another life, she still shows herself to be the person that she always was, the one who was fighting for freedom, fighting for the people who are weaker than that. Can you talk a little bit about the attraction of something like that for you? Did that really matter?
Yes, of course. I felt the invisibility that Rita lived in, because when I lived in Latin America, you know, when I was a child, from 10 to 17, we moved from New York to Dominican Republic, and having to start over, it's always hard. But when you're dealing with such issues like colonialism and colorism, and these are introductions to a very young mind, you understand that there's a place that you're always being put in, that you don't know why you have to be there, you know, when you sort of go, well, I should be able to go wherever everybody goes. And so when I read Rita, I understood exactly those things about her. This is a woman that is incredibly intelligent and hungry and curious and has a passion for the law, a true sense of justice, and she's misusing her power and giving it to somebody else because she lives in this isolating sort of environment where men win and men get away with so much, you know, and that's just where Rita is, but she doesn't believe that she has a voice in this world, you know, but has this desperate need because she wants, just like everybody does. So when Emilia passed in the form of Manitas comes to her and makes this Faustian offer, she doesn't think twice. She'll do anything to get out of the chain that she's bound in because she wants more. She wants what her boss has. She wants what that man that she's defending, even though he's a total criminal, like, she wants his life, and she wants to look like the woman that he killed his wife for, and you know, all of these things, and she knows it's wrong, but she wants it, you know? And then I think that her sisterhood with Emilia is what compels her to reflect. Like, do you know, when she asks her, do you ever think about your past? Because I think that Rita's constantly thinking about what she had to sacrifice, which in hindsight, it was a lot. She had to sacrifice herself to get a version of herself that she thought she wanted. So all of these aspects I was deeply curious about, and I felt that once again Jacques was putting me in a position to feel for a character that by all means feels unredeemable for me, and yet there's humanity in her, you know. So it was just really interesting.
Well, we miss you, Jacques Audiard.
So much.
But please join me in congratulating this amazing group of actors and actresses on a fantastic film. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much.